Hello everybody, how are you? This story is called A Problem by Anton Chekhov. Money lending, debt figured prominently in Chekhov's life, so it is not surprising that the subject appears in his stories. In 1875, his father's business failed and the threat of imprisonment loomed. The family lost their home to a wealthy local man who posed as a false friend. Chekhov started writing not to express ideas but to support his family. He continued throughout his career to pay the debts of his older brothers. What do you think about? It is the responsibility of adults to take care of young people? One should not have to bear responsibility for all actions. All actions have consequences. Spare the rod, spoil the child. If you do not punish a child when they do something wrong, they will not learn what is right. Do you agree or disagree? Literature analysis, characters. Characters are the people, animals, or even objects who perform the actions and experience the events of a story. Writers use two main types of characterization to bring characters to life. Direct characterization. The writer tells readers exactly what a character is like. This involves making explicit statements about a character's personality. In this method, the narrator describes and often evaluates the motives and personality of the characters. For example, in A Problem, the narrator tells the reader that Ivan Markovich is kind-hearted. Indirect characterization. The writer reveals a character's traits through dialogues, the character's words, the character's actions and thoughts, and the effect the character has on others. It involves revealing a character's personality through his or her actions, thoughts, dialogue, and interaction with other characters, as well as other characters' thoughts and comments about the character. For example, in A Problem, Sasha Oskov's meek behavior at the beginning of the story is contradicted by his actions later in the story. It is up to the reader to decide why these discrepancies exist. To better understand characters and gain insight into the message of a story, notice the character development, changes the character undergoes, or new aspects of the character the writer reveals. Reading skill. Inferences. An inference is an insight you reach based on state details about information that is not stated. To make inferences, relate characters and events to your own experience. The authors rarely state directly everything. Instead, they expect readers to read between lines and make educated guesses. A good way to make inferences is by asking themselves how and why questions as you read. For instance, when reading the story of a sailor's Captain Marine on her first voyage, you might compare the captain to leaders whom you have known. Use a chart like the one shown to relate your reading to your experiences. Story detail. The new captain's palms are sweating as she addresses the crew. Your experience. New camp counselors are nervous about whether campers will obey them. Inference. The new captain is unsure of herself. In A Problem, three uncles grapple with the question of what to do about their errant nephew, Sasha. Instead of welcoming their leniency as an opportunity to mend his ways, Sasha seizes it as an opportunity to continue his irresponsible habits, with just one difference. He gains self-knowledge. He now sees how he can manipulate his relatives and avoid facing the consequences he deserves. So, are you ready to read?